Hey folks, my name is Pravus. Welcome to more Civilization 6. We are playing as Tokugawa Ieyasu of Japan, and I would say this game is going phenomenally well for us on Deity difficulty. However, in between videos, I did a bit of looking around, and there is something that is giving me pause. You see, we have really good science and culture generation. We've surpassed all the other AIs. And yet, despite that, if I were to take a look at a tech tree, I'm in the industrial era, and Hammurabi of Babylon is all the way into the modern era. Like, they're far into the modern era. And this is actually the power of Babylon. They're nerfed in their science generation, but Eurekas, I believe, give them the entire tech for free. So if you get a lot of Eurekas, you slingshot well past anyone else's capabilities, and that's exactly what the AI is doing. So I'm a little bit concerned that despite how well we're doing right now, the AI is on track to go for a science victory. And I'm gonna have to find ways to isolate Babylon, who, by the way, is killing my suzerain state. That's not very nice. And then see if we can take them down a few pegs. Now, what I'd like to do is actually just probably go to war with them, because I feel like I've got enough production, and against an AI like that, we probably could actually take them down. They're not that strong militarily. They're more, but I haven't been building anything yet. The problem is, I don't have any strategic resources to work with. I did some looking around now that we're in the industrial era. We've got a single source of niter all the way up here, which means I probably do need to settle this location. We've got a single source of coal all the way down here, so I need to settle down in this location to snag it before Egypt does. And that's kind of it. There's nothing else. I have no other strategic resources that I can use to wage a mid-game war. So I'm counting on late game, which I don't like being in that position. So I'm either going to need to start buying some strategic resources from other people, which we could go and buy like a bunch of niter and stuff that way. It does exist. Or we need to conquer somebody and get all their land to try and get some more strategics, but I don't know if Egypt has anything, or maybe Scythia. Or I need to go for some very aggressive settles and then continue to use my trade routes to hopefully keep me very competitive. Is that going to be enough? That's the thing. I don't really know. I'd like to think so, but I don't know for sure. These trade routes with Tokyo are looking pretty good, by the way. We're at 5-5, 10, 5-5, but this can get even better. Because I'm pretty sure that all I need to do is place down, let's say, a diplomatic quarter or maybe one or two other districts in Tokyo, and we'll be good to go. I don't have any space right now, but if I can get, let's say, another great leader that would let me get additional districts, regardless of the population, which I think there might be one more engineer in that category in the Renaissance era, that would be a game changer right there. And I realized in the last video, I should have put both charges in Tokyo, not split it between Tokyo and Osaka. I don't know why I did that. That was dumb. We won't do that again in the future. But two more districts, especially things like diplomatic quarters, I'm pretty sure we could easily be getting +7/+7 science and culture from every route. And I've got like 10 cities. So that is very substantial. I might have to consider getting drill manuals down here as a card. Once I get some potentially upgraded sources for coal and niter, getting an extra one resource per turn could be good for me. That said, I also don't plan on staying a monarchy forever. The extra influence doesn't really excite me that much. I don't really care about housing because I have no walls. What I really want to do is probably start working my way toward the Merchant Republic civic under exploration. That'd be better for my economy. Not better from a wildcard slot. We would lose one of those, which sucks. And I don't actually care about the diplomatic slots. But I do like those extra Merchant Republics. I don't know, actually. However, a Merchant Republic does straight out just get me extra gold wherever I have governors. And more production towards districts. So yeah, this is objectively the better government for me to go for. And if I can get 2 caravels, we should be able to boost that. And in the meantime, other things I need to do include continue to build out things that give me more trade routes, like the Colossus. I am getting that wonder. It just fits beautifully into my build. Any wonders that help with that are still worth it. Otherwise, despite all of our advantages, I don't think I can afford to waste my time going for mostly useless wonders just for the sake of it. We've still got to be laser focused on our win condition. Which win condition am I going for? I don't actually know. Probably science, maybe domination. It does depend a lot on how things are looking with Babylon. The thing is, I'll bet you Babylon is not outstanding when it comes to culture. Well, I say that. They're actually on par with us. Well, that's no good. Still, I'm betting since they're not generating very much, if I did swap over to a tourism victory, we possibly could pull that off, especially if I were to take down Ramesses and Poland. Then it would be very easy. So we really have a lot of options still. But I do need to come to a decision on that pretty soon. We can boost up our trade routes a bit more with Raja Todamal. That gets me some extra gold for my own cities. So, domestic trade routes getting better? Sure, seems great. Why not? There's exploration. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and swap over to that Merchant Republic. Boost up all those districts, and what do I want to do here? I actually think I am going to temporarily continue to get the faster settlers, because if I'm going to do aggressive expansion, let's just do this for a few turns. Then I can swap over to, let's just say, natural philosophy for more science, or I can get a lot of amenities with liberalism. That is really quite good. Civil prestige. I'm surprised this doesn't show a value, because I definitely have a lot of established governors with more than 2 promotions. I would imagine this gets me some good value too, but... And there's also plenty of opportunities to get a fair bit more money, but for now, this will be fine. Settling down here by the coal is going to be a little bit difficult, though. I've got loyalty pressure out the wazoo. I really need that coal so I can get coal power plants, so I can boost up my production by a lot. That's the problem. But if I don't place down more cities down here, I'm not confident how easy it's going to be for me to get there. So, this is going to be rough. I do also have the problem where the Renaissance era is ending in just a few turns, and I do not have enough era score. So we're not going to get a golden age. That actually means that the loyalty pressures are going to be just a smidge worse. And now that I think about it, hold up. Do not circumnavigate the globe. Don't do it. That's a lot of era score if I'm the first person to do it, and there's no point in wasting it in an era where I'm definitely not going to hit a golden age anyway. We're going to wait on that just a little bit. And there's the industrial era. Okay, now we can circumnavigate the globe. But what is our dedication going to be? Well, there's not a lot of point in this, as far as I can tell. Reform the coinage, era score every time we do a trade route. I do have a lot of these running. I don't know if this is more era points than other options, but it's a thing. Building structures after the industrial era, or of course going to war. I think reform the coinage will be fairly consistent, but I'm not going to sit back and do the math to confirm that. I probably should, but I'm not going to. Let's work toward natural history. If we can get more amenities out of our zoos, as well as some water parks, that could be helpful. Ooh, one small problem. Scythia is having loyalty issues over here. Okay. That might mean that Babylon is going to get a free city over here, and we're going to start watching the gradual collapse of Scythia. That would be a problem. Is it Scythia or Scythia? I actually don't even know. But yeah, if Babylon took over all these cities, that would be an issue. It does look like they're struggling to take Hong Kong, which I'm very glad to see. I didn't expect them to survive this long, but that's a good sign. It means that even though you have all this wonderful military science, you don't know how to use it still. And there's the circumnavigation. Boom. Also, steam power. Cool, so if I get some military engineers and I had some coal, I could actually start placing down railroads. God, I wish I could do that. Oh, frick me, Egypt took the coal. They settled right on the coal. They don't even know what they just did. Okay, what this means is I'm now going to war with Egypt. It's non-negotiable. It is going to happen. So, what do we want to train up? Samurai? Could do samurai. Could do a few things. I do want to get some trebuchets before I move on to iron casting or metal casting, because then I'm going to get bombards that I can't do anything with until I have some niter. I'd rather get a cheap unit I definitely can use, and then we'll spend money to upgrade it later if we need to. I didn't even think about this. I could build a canal. Huh. It would ruin one of my farm triangles, which does suck, but a method of completely connecting the eastern and western oceans. Be my own little Panama Canal. Which is actually a wonder now that I think about it. Do we have the tech? We could do that somewhere, right? Where is that? This right here. There we go. Finish this, and all of the trade routes that travel through it get a multiplication of gold. Wow. Wouldn't that be interesting? This is a bizarre place to put it, though. Huh. I mean, 26 turns is kind of a long time is the thing. But I do think at least a regular canal is worth it. Let's found this city. We're going to have access to the niter now, so that's something, which we immediately improve. That gets me my rifling boost. Okay. And then in my new cities, it is very important that I immediately get traders up and running. This is a very slow-growing city, especially in the tundra. But trust me, when you get an extra, like, 5 or 6 food per turn, that's like working 3 decent 2-2 tiles. It's like having a lot of extra population right out of the gate. It makes such a huge difference. Case in point, we went from, like, what was it, 70 turns down to 28 for the harbor. That's still a lot, but at least now we're growing in 2 turns as well, so we can start taking advantage of the niter as well as the rice. I do want to discover where we can get things like oil and aluminum. Radio tech, you know, be nice to get toward that. Refining we'll need as well. That assumes we have a land-based source. We may not, in which case I have to go to plastics. If I can get tanks, that makes life very easy. Very, very easy. Well, I think we're going to continue focusing down a semi-scientific economic route. Let's start working our way toward things like flight and radio next, I think. And make sure we denounce against Egypt. I want everyone to know that I'm very angry with them. Though it might be worth going to places like, let's say, Scythia and say, hey, you want to be friends? You know? Just so, like... Oh, God, they have a lot of cities about to fall. Uh-oh. What are you doing? Maybe don't be friends. I was going to say we could do an alliance with them just so that there's not a lot of problems on a national stage. Sorry, a global stage when I go to war. But now I'm starting to think that that's not going to work. But I don't want to befriend Babylon because they're too strong. I might be about to antagonize the entire world, and I think I may just have to accept that. Doesn't mean we couldn't try to, like, set up some embassies and stuff like that, you know? Maybe, just maybe they let me... No. Get some extra relations. Oh, God, there's barbarians over here. Of course there are. Hey, Egypt, you doing anything about that, or no? Ooh, there's coal down here. Oh, but that's so far away. I think I actually would have to punch my way through the entirety of Egypt just to justify settling down there. That may be the way I get out of this, to be honest. But we can't do anything against Babylon, but I can kill Egypt, control this entire continent. 2 continents even, maybe, I don't know. And then, with all your wonders plus everything else in your infrastructure, that could be a way of propelling us to the future. It's a little on the mean-spirited side, but if it works, it works. Hey, the first samurai in the industrial freaking era. Sure. Let's also make sure we place down some water parks in a good central location. So the good thing about a water park is it provides amenities, kind of like the entertainment districts will. But they have a longer range. I think it's 9 tiles, which right here in a good central location should hit, I think, almost all of these cities. So Fukuoka over here should be able to give me tons of amenities to work with, and that's going to make my life a lot easier. More great people. Instantly build a factory and a workshop. Well, that is certainly going to be nice. Let's grab James Watt for sure. And then another admiral. Meh, whatever. Oh, hey, more districts. Yes, this is someone we need to have. Ada Lovelace. In the meantime, yeah, Scythia's already lost their new city down here, and it's going straight to Babylon. You're feeding! In a multiplayer lobby, this would get you kicked really fast. And now officially reached the modern era when it comes to some technology. Okay. I've got flight. And now we're going to start working on trying to find that dang aluminum. I need to know if I've got any strategic resources. If I can at least get some bombers together, that's a thing I can work with. I'm not going to say that it's enough by itself. It's not, but it could give me something. I'm also getting some archaeologists, which means we can start gathering up some artifacts. Not that that's a crucial part of my game plan, but like if I did, for whatever reason, want to swap Egypt, what are you doing? I'm going to steal that settler. I'm going to steal that settler next turn if you don't settle it right now, I swear to God. What was I saying? Oh, right. If I want to be able to swap over to a different victory condition, it's worth having that on hand. Gosh, dang it, he immediately settled. All right, we're killing Egypt. We're killing them right now. Frick you. No, you're right to be worried. We're declaring war. Which, of course, Scythia hates, but, you know, we already declared friendship. So, too late. You can't take backsies. Okay, anyway, in my capital, we can do a few things. Let's get that diplomatic quarter up and running. I hate the idea of having to tear down mines that I've got, but I honestly think it's going to be worth it. Or I could just swap this tile. I'm not going to place a campus there. It's just not worth it. Let's just go ahead and get some more boosts on nearby districts. The good thing about the diplomatic quarter is I'm pretty sure it gives me a lot of yields from trade. I can check that. Yeah, I get a food and a production from doing any domestic trade. So it's kind of like having the government plaza. So that's going to be very helpful. Oh, look. Egypt has musketmen. Must be nice having strategic resources. It really, really must be. Look, I don't mean to sound too salty or anything. I want you to understand that I'm kind of peeved at the situation here. I feel like I'm very hampered in an entire way of trying to win the game. Anyway, do I keep or raise this city? Is it a decent city? Yeah, I mean, it's okay. And technically, I could turn this into a Petra city if I wanted to. Didn't think about that. Yeah, I guess I'll keep it. I don't want the problems of raising a city. Ugh, Ramesses? All right, they just took one of my other city-states over here, which could complicate things a little bit. I'm going to have to, like, build some freaking walls and stuff now. Oh, good lord. Though if I get to the steel tech, that would become an unnecessary component, but whatever, it's fine. Ooh, and yeah, by the way, look at Tokyo. 6-6-15-6-6. These routes are only getting better, and it's not just in new cities. I'm scaling everything at once. So if I take a look at my trade routes, like, this is what I'm currently looking at. This is phenomenal. Another governor right now would come at a good time. We'll get that from this great person. And a new governor could be, let's say, Victor, who is going to go in Nekhen over here, this new city. And that's going to make sure it stays nice and loyal and projects loyalty all nearby cities, including the ones I'm hopefully going to be conquering very soon. Let's get a zoo. That is going to get me another chunk of amenities in this area. I think in like 5, maybe 6 cities. That's all right. Let's go ahead and steal back the suzerainty of this culture city-state, by the way. I want to keep this. It's getting me a lot of value. Plus, we can maybe use them to scare Ramesses, whose military score is just plummeting, by the way. So, I think we're in a good spot. I do think we may have to go for liberalism, though. My amenities are dropping just terribly right now. I don't know if we're going to get any builders for a while, so we could temporarily swap away from that and just focus on the science for a bit. And that's okay, because again, I really want to find out if we have any source of aluminum. That's a game changer. I'm still very angry to see that Scythia is losing all of these cities. 2 turns, 4 turns. I mean, we could technically get in here and try to take them myself, but I don't have any loyalty pressure either. So I'd have to go in a mass war against Scythia and try to take down most of their stuff, and even then, I'd probably go up against Babylon. So I don't think it would work very well. Hey, this is super important. As we said before, let's make sure we grab this great engineer and go ahead and pop the 1 and then 2 charges in Tokyo, which means now I can get even more goodies. And I'm going to go ahead and just immediately place down some additional districts. We'll probably place another one over here and just overwrite the bananas. But the idea being, you know, every time I do this, that's like an extra, I don't know, at this point, probably like 12 science per turn, maybe a little bit less than that. I mean, would you do that? Would you take in a 12 adjacency science and culture any other district somewhere? Absolutely. So even though I don't need another water park over here, like, it's just going to get me more adjacency over here, and it's worth so much, I don't care what it actually gives me for the water park. I care about all those extra trade values. You just want to place down every district you can, no matter the value. I kind of forgot, by the way, I'm getting tourism for every district I've got right now, too, aren't I? I've got 87, because, remember, that is one of Tokugawa's abilities. Once flight has been researched, every district gets me tourism. Huh. I can't imagine it's a ton. I've got 87 per turn, which is behind on Poland, but I think it's better than anyone else. That's kind of funny. And there's the first neighborhood. Okay, having one of those neighborhoods is going to get me a little bit of extra era score. We're going to start building up population in places like Kyoto very aggressively. And Egypt is sending their upgraded chariot archers. That ain't going to cut it, buddy. Bye. Despite being outnumbered, a samurai hath wonneth a day. Congratulations, we're all so proud. I'm going to start beelining towards some of their naval cities over here. Rakadet is weak, because they have not researched steel, which means they don't have a lot of defenses. I don't even think they have any walls over here. So a couple of good ships actually could possibly snag this city, and that's really going to throw Egypt into disarray. I'm going for total war here. I might even just remove them from the game. And it does help that Samarkand is running around and scaring people with their own line infantry. And this is where it can be very helpful to have some good city-states on your side, because they can just get in here and do a lot of damage for you. I also think I just got a boost for nuclear fission technology, which is good, I guess, to have. Yeah, that's way up over here. Unfortunately, Hammurabi is now considered to be in the information age, so he is continuing to take a huge advantage. Now, here's the good news. I'm not convinced that he has enough production to go for the science victory right away. So even if he might be scary, there might be ways for us to just sabotage him until we win. Oh, Rakadet just got walls. This no longer is as viable as it was. It's fine though, we'll just get in here and take Sina. Okay. And now, I have at least some coal generation. Gosh, it's taking me so much work to get to that point, but we're doing it. Oh yeah, this is now a +5 theater district right here. Perfect. Less perfect. Did we not get any aluminum either? Oh my god, hold on. There's a bunch in the desert. Okay, Samarkand's giving me some. And that is it. Wow. Once again, I've got nothing. Do I settle a city here just for the purpose of gathering a lot of aluminum? I think the answer, amazingly, is going to end up being yes, but it is a truly awful city. And now Poland's mad at me. Because I've inflicted grievances on others. That's fine. You know, Japan doesn't have, like, a history of, like, going to war... Hello? Japan doesn't have a history of, like, I don't know, going to war over strategic resources or anything, right? Also note that Tokyo is now a +7/+7 science and culture. There we go. And it's gonna be a +8/+8 soon enough. Do we want to have a city-state emergency against Hammurabi? Ooh. I could. Yeah, I could declare us an emergency and try to get everyone involved in a war against Babylon. I don't know that people are going to go for that, but that'd be interesting. By the way, I know you're building Petra over here, just FYI. I'm aware that you are doing this. I don't approve. He wants to make peace with me. No, see, the reason you want to make peace with me is because you know I'm probably going to lose this city, which is not okay. And there we go. All right, looks like people are going to be going to war against Hammurabi. Weirdly enough, Scythia disagreed with that, but everyone who I'm currently not really friends with, they did totally agree with that. That could be kind of helpful for me, I don't know. Industrial era is ending in 10 turns. Good, because I have a golden age already secured, so that is a non-issue. I think I'm going to ignore the barbarians for the moment. I don't think they're a major threat. Let's go ahead and start pushing in on Memphis aggressively. I have a bombard now that I have some niter. Plus, I have an observation balloon to get me that extra tiny little bit of range. One tile to stay out of range is actually pretty substantial. I also got Eiffel as a new engineer. So if I want to start working on some wonders somewhere, he actually could be worth a fair bit. All right, there we go. Garrison commander for that extra loyalty. That helps. Not enough, apparently. This still rebels in 3 turns. Really? 3 turns? Oh, whatever. Settle the city. Get me some aluminum. And just so the city even stands the faintest hint of a chance, a traitor. And now we're going to be making some decent amount of aluminum. Okay. So going for bombers and stuff like that is very viable now. And bombers, you know, it seems like the AI is not especially great at fighting against bombers. So I think that's going to be a pretty massive advantage. Let's go ahead and keep trading more with Tokyo. We are indeed up to a +8, 6, 28, 8 for my trade route. God, that's so good. Okay, Memphis shall be mine probably this turn with the line infantry. Maybe not. Maybe we're 1 turn off on that, but it's close. Yeah, 1 turn off. Then we start making our push over to Thebes. Let's take a step back, get some field cannons. I've got money, we should use it. Also, might be worth going back to Magnus and getting things like Industrialist, increase the amount of power we get from coal power plants. Since I don't have a lot of coal to go around, every little bit of extra power actually has extra value for me right now. And then I really don't even know what I want to do with my culture. I think we should start thinking about our next government form. The thing about going for communism is collectivization. That is so much value out of domestic trade routes. How could I not do that? Like, this is insane, actually, now that I think about it. I might go communism. I don't usually do that, but I actually might. What are the other benefits? Production per citizen if you have governors, more science. Yeah, as opposed to democracy, trade route with allies and suzerains, but that doesn't count for me. Oh, we're going communism. We are 100% going communism, and the faster I can pull that off, the better. Okay, Memphis is mine, so that's a thing. But Egypt now is bringing their own infantry to the front. I just need to get close enough to start bombarding it, honestly. Not much more than that, not yet. Cards got rearranged a bit. What do we want? 5-year plan, campus, and industrial zones. Now that's what I call value. And unfortunately, I don't think I can keep the engineering points. We really should swap back to Republican Legacy. The sheer amount of amenities we get from that is so good, it's hard to say no. And now we enter into the modern era officially. Okay. So we get a golden age. We may want to consider going for something militaristic this time around again. Everyone else is either in a normal or a dark age, so my loyalty is no longer going to be a problem. So to arms... maybe. Heartbeat of Steam campus gets... I mean, yeah? This is still really good, though. it's hard to say no to having a lot of extra production, like an absolute ton. Yeah, I think that's going to be better. Let's go for Heartbeat of Steam. We have a lot of campuses. Man, Ramesses really wants to pay me off. They would... Seed? Memphis, Neckham, Cena. Yeah, that's all fine, but that's not good enough. It's a lot of money and stuff, too. Nope. I think I can still take down Thebes, and you've got a lot of wonders and other great things to take from you there. We now have advanced flight. Okay, let's start working towards some oil next. I do have an aerodrome. In 2 turns in Sendai, I'll have a hangar. And I should have military engineers that I produced already on their way down here. Lots of flat desert space means very easy to place down some sort of an airstrip, which we could then use to probably bomb the rest of Egypt. Communism is now unlocked. Here we go. Pick that sucker up 100%. Okay, and with my new cards. Oh my god. 52 more food and 26 more production is unreal. Wow. Okay, oil has been revealed. Where do we have... I see oil in the sea. Question is, do we have oil on land? Because I can't take advantage of the sea yet. No. We have some up over here in Otsu and up over here by Kobe. Okay, so we could theoretically get some oil. More oil offshore. We have a lot of offshore oil, and that is it. Wow. It's laughable at this point. It really is. But okay, we can at least get something. That means that combustion and stuff is a go. Okay, military engineer. Place down on airstrip. Right there. Perfect. Then we redeploy the plane up to the front. And we also purchase the oil tile so I can start working this. There we go. Plastics at least gets a boost as well, which will unlock all of the offshore oil. I am going to be rolling in oil. I'm going to have so much oil I won't know what to do with it. It's going to be outstanding when we get to that point. I also should really consider moving my bombard into my territory and upgrading it. Now that we have artillery, I can actually get some serious damage in on that. And the first bomber can do its air attack over here in Thebes, which does a monumental amount of damage. This is why we like bombers, holy crud. And as far as civics, okay, now that we have things like professional sports and stuff, so I can get the stadium for even more amenities. What else makes sense now? Capitalism? No, that's international trade routes. Doesn't do me a whole lot of good. Conservation? Maybe. I mean, naturalists are okay. Sanctuaries. The resource management, I would say, is good, but we're not having any issues with oil. I don't really know what I want to do here, if I'm honest. I guess Science Foundations is amazing, right? You get extra great scientist and extra great engineer points. Or we could go for cultural heritage and just get tons of tourism. Like, this is where I need to know what victory condition I'm actually going for. But I appear to be ahead of everyone else when it comes to culture, so I've got an advantage. That's good. Let's commit to the military for a bit. I'm gonna go down Cold War. Oh, Ramesses, you don't even know what's about to hit you. You probably are reeling from last time, if I'm honest, but now that I have 2 bombers, it is all over. And the AI does not focus on the air defenses, at least not as much as they probably should. So let's just get in there and boom, that's mine now. Thank you, bye. That comes with a whole bunch of wonders too. Beautiful. And I've even still got some new fresh artillery ready for the fray. I can get one last district in my capital, by the way. I'm just gonna go ahead and get rid of a mine. Might as well place down an encampment. So I'm about to go up to +9/+9. Science and culture for 14 trade routes. If there was ever any doubt as to whether or not Tokugawa's ability can stack up beautifully, oh yes, it 100% can. The only issue now is I've got war weariness, which is kind of being a problem. Also, Scythia doesn't like me. It doesn't bother me. You have literally no military to speak of. So go ahead and cry harder if you want to. I really don't care. Oh, and I can get tanks now. All right. Game over. I win. Heck, for good measure, I will even go ahead and place down a Petra. This is about to become a Petra game. Thank you, Eiffel. You want to go ahead and finish that immediately? Look at that! So what was one of the worst cities in my empire actually just became phenomenal. See, now that's thinking with portals. That's the kind of stuff you want to see. Let's go ahead and get oil power, by the way. I don't have to rely on coal anymore. I've got oil out the Iwazoo. And Sais is now mine. And now I'm also getting denounced by Hungary. Everyone hates that I'm inflicting a million grievances. I've kind of antagonized literally the entire world here. I know this. Oh, it's just kind of what Japan does. I mean, we sat around and were isolationists for a very long period of time. And now we are letting the world know how I really feel, which is to say, I hate you all, and I want you all to die. So honestly, at that point, why not just commit? Why not make sure everyone's furious forever? Oh, will you please have peace? No. In fact, I'm gonna keep killing you so that I can move forward and place air bases on the coast so that I can easily reach into Babylon and start crushing them, who, by the way, Scythia has almost nothing left. They are so dead. Babylon is the threat of the game. Without any doubt in my mind, they are the threat. And we've also finished out our first entertainment district in the Empire. We're talking stadiums and everything. Okay. The bombers have been moved forward. The last city of Ramesses is about to go bye-bye. One more round of bombing will do the job. Then we send in the tank and Dunsky. Okay, you are out. I've antagonized the world, but I control the entire half of the planet. Fine with me. And finally, I've got some coal. I've got some niter. I don't need them anymore because I have oil. But out of principle, it feels nice. Speaking of oil, let's make sure we get out here and get some offshore oil platforms. Just like so, which is good because I was starting to run out of oil because I'm kind of consuming a few too many things, but this is easily solved. Very easily. And now, since we're making 556 gold per turn, I think we can afford to spend a little bit of time getting builders, trade routes, and so on up and running. I've actually got 2 more trade routes that I haven't even started using. Holy crud, let's fix that real quick. And just like that, we take some cities that were otherwise in terrible condition and we make them at least pretty tolerable. The big issue is that my amenities are not looking good, and because I've antagonized everyone, they don't want to buy my stuff. But I think I'm also at the point where I no longer care about their opinions of me, because we are reaching god tiers of power. Look at this, 1 gold for 2 aluminum. They're literally spitting in my face. Be careful, I'm a llama, I spit back. Ooh, and the Golden Gate Bridge. I want that, that would be great, thank you. And I even built the Taj Mahal out in the middle of nowhere just so I can get all the extra era score and guarantee I can easily get up into golden ages for the rest of the game. All right, we are now very close to winning. There's only one major step left. That is deal with Babylon, who is very powerful right now, at least in terms of science. Like, it's ridiculous how good they are. They're way up here. And I do think I may have seen them building up some spaceports. Let me see if that's true. Yes, there's at least 2 going down right now, so they're going for broke. But I think I'm now in a position to put them in a world of hurt. So that is the plan for the next video, and then somehow we have to eke out a victory condition. I honestly am debating going for the culture victory simply because, I mean, I may not have the most tourism, but I've got phenomenal culture now. I don't know. Maybe we can find a way to turn that around. Worst come to worst, though, it's easy enough to go for domination. Thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video. As Tokugawa Yasu, if you enjoyed, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe. Make sure you hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.